Oshay Jackson, back at it again with some more bullshit. Oh yeah, he fooled us all. Oshay Jackson doesn't have a medical license. He doesn't. Anybody can come on YouTube and be whoever they want to be. You know, when you start putting two and two together, and you really start analyzing the situation, how is this man able to go to another country, learn a language, then go through medical school when he couldn't even he could even get into medical school in the United States? But you mean to tell me you're going to go to another country, have to learn the language, and pass all those difficult classes? When I was in the Air Force, I was in the medical field. I was a medic, and we had a very intensive program, very intensive. So I know a little bit about the medical field. And in my we call it tech school. I think that's what it. I can't remember. Yeah, it's called tech school. And in our class, it was a very stringent class. I mean, you couldn't fail one test. I mean, you could not fail one test, or you would get washed out.
Good afternoon, America and the rest of the world. Xander J. Hobson here, stand-up comedian, entertainer, director and producer of boxing documentaries, internet troll to those who need internet trolling. This is another episode of The Devil's Advocate, brought to you by the Brilliant Artist Movement. I'm trying to grow the platform, so please subscribe, like this video, share it, and by all means leave a comment in the comment section, because I enjoy checking out the feedback from these videos that I make, as well as exchanging opinions and points of views with you all. Now, if you are a detractor and it is your nature to disagree, I encourage you to do so.
Oh, wow! Wow!
But just know, if you get nasty in my comment section, I'm going to get you. I'm going to say some stuff to you that is so mean, you're going to have nightmares for days and weeks and months to come. I'm the troll's troll, and trolling me will not be tolerated. Well, it's the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy. Now, I've been following this guy, I've been checking this guy out, I've been somewhat addicted to his station. Now, I'm going to say this. The Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy, he's the real deal. And I'm going to tell you why the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy is the real deal. The Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy talked about being in the Air Force. And he started talking about going to tech school in the medical profession. Now, I know, because I went through Air Force Tech School at Shepherd Air Force Base, which is the exact same base that the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy more than likely attended technical school. I remember, because I went to Shepherd Air Force Base initially as an Air Force lineman, and then second as an Air Force loadmaster. Now, the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy was talking about how intense his classes were out at Shepherd Air Force Base. He didn't say Shepherd Air Force Base, but I'm almost certain that the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy went to Shepherd Air Force Base. And the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy described my experience to the T. Because tech school out at Shepherd Air Force Base was very difficult for me. I had to work very hard. And when I heard the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy talking about how intense tech school was for him in the medical career field, I thought about how intense tech school was for me when I was going through the Loadmaster course and when I was going through the Lineman's course. Now, I couldn't imagine how intense tech school was for those who went through the medical. Now, a lady friend of mine, she went through on the medical side, and I remember her talking about how intense tech school was for them. Now, I said all that to say this. I think the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy might have caught Oshay Duke Jackson in a lie. Now, I really want to give Oshay Duke Jackson the benefit of the doubt, because I am the kind of guy, I love to see the glass as being half full. But the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy, when he talked about how intense technical school was for him when he was going through the medical course, and then he compared that to what Oshay Duke Jackson has going on as a doctor over in Poland, not being able to speak the language, not being able to read the language, it really raised some questions. And I honestly think that the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy might have busted Oshay Duke Jackson. Now, one of the things that I can identify with was not wanting to fail tech school, having to go right home and study right after I got finished taking my course. I might have took maybe like about an hour or two break just to get my head together, then I was right back to study. The Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy is the real deal because he used terminology that I recognize, and I know that this man is the real deal. He might be a troll, but the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy is the real deal. The terminologies that he recognized, that he said that I recognized, was tech school, washed out, got recycled back, and a handful of other terminologies that was familiar to me. But the main thing that the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy said that made all the sense in the world was how intense that tech school was. Now, when I went through tech school, I was cutting hair. I was a barber by trade. And even though I had a nice bit of clientele when I was at tech school, I could cut no more than 2, maybe 3 heads a day, because I could not allow myself to get bogged down cutting hair, because the course or the courses that I took out there, they was too intense, and I was not gonna be the dumbass black guy that my command sent me to school and I went out there and failed because I was cutting hair. The Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy, he touched on some valid points, and again, he's right. It's a lot of people that come on YouTube and they reinvent themselves in a manner that's not true. You guys don't know me, you might check me out here, but I'll tell you what, I haven't told one lie or exaggerated since I've been on these YouTube airways. I don't have to. I'm the real deal. But my point is, it is nothing worse than when you catch a person in a lie. And I'm afraid it's a strong possibility that the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy might have caught Oshay Duke Jackson in a lie. Now, does Oshay Duke Jackson's lie prevent him from being a good businessman? Does it prevent him from being a very good YouTuber? No. Oshay Duke Jackson is a great YouTuber, and creativity comes with the territory. So he was very creative when it comes to being a successful YouTuber. But it might appear that Oshay Duke Jackson was very creative when it comes to talking about he was a medical student. Again, I want to give Oshay Duke Jackson the benefit of the doubt, because I want him to be a doctor. I want Oshay Duke Jackson to be telling the truth. But as I sum this video up, I want to point out that the Kevin Samuels Roast Network guy has made some very good points. And the points that he made, it makes me question whether Oshay Duke Jackson is telling the truth or not. about being a doctor. So this is what I'm thinking about. I'm trying to grow this channel. If I run across any news that I find worthy of reporting on, and I can get passionate about reporting on them, hey, you're gonna get one of my videos. So with that said, I'm done with it. Bam!
A little boy climbed an apple tree. He stole an apple, then 2, then 3. And when he started to climb back down, he slipped and he landed